your business 100% for sure, absolutely will change. And I want to talk to you about how to adapt to that change. Hi, this is Larry K with ShadowAnyone.com and the creator of the Investigator's Ultimate Guide series, which is premium private investigator training from someone who's been there and done that. Absolutely, your business in a year from now or 5 years from now will not look the same, not be the same as it is now. Let me give you some examples, real life examples in the private investigator industry. When I started out as a private investigator, it was before the big search engines were out. Now you can imagine, think about for a moment, and there was really no such thing as social media. Think about it now, about how easy it is to go in and search through social media and learn an immense amount about people that you weren't able to years ago. And in skip tracing, this is a big area. You know, the cases that you would get hired for in the late 90s and the early 2000s were very different cases than you do now, because so many people will kind of do it themselves. Very quickly, they're able to find the old high school sweetheart or the person who hit their car or that type of thing because of so much online resources. So what about this changes in your business? Here's the thing. You may be doing less skip tracing than you would have, say, 10 or 15 years ago. But the cases you get are going to be much more difficult. So you really have to know your resources. You really have to know what you're doing. You're not going to be handed cases where you just type into a database and up pops who you're looking for with a current address. That happens less and less, and you need to have those real world skills to go out and find people sometimes. Just the way skip tracing is changing right now. Surveillance. Surveillance is changing a bit, and over time it's going to change more and more. But think about how many people are right, wrong, legal, illegal, are using their significant other's cell phone as some kind of tracking device on them, right? They're able to tell where this person is going, and maybe it's illegal, but I mean, it's affecting the cases you take. Again, 10 years ago, you might be the last resort. This is the person we got to hire to follow my spouse around to find out what's going on. And now you're not getting that call because they're trying to do it themselves electronically. So how does this change things for your business? Well, the fact of the matter is, where the cell phone is, that may probably tells you where the person is, but it doesn't tell you who they're with, what they're doing. A physical surveillance is still necessary, but you're going to find, again, less surveillances than you might have done 10 years ago. But you're going to need to get more information now. That they have a very specific idea of what they want to know. It's not just where they are, but what they're doing, who they're meeting. That was the case back in the day, but even more so now. You're going to find your business evolving over time as these things happen, and be prepared for it. Don't pick a business model or business thing and say, I've got this figured out, I'm making money, I can just ride this to retirement, because things will change for you. Process serving. There's going to be more and more process serving via electronics, electronic mail, maybe even process serving through social media networks. That's going to kick in. What does that mean for you if you're serving process, either as a private investigator or as a full-time process server? It means the cases you get are going to be harder and harder. Now, none of this is bad news necessarily. This means you can charge more. Think about it. If they're used to just serving a person electronically, or they like to serve people through the mail, when they finally come to one that stumps them that they need to get served, they're going to have to come to an expert, an experienced person, a person who knows what they're doing to learn to serve process. The fact that your business changes is not necessarily bad. Just don't think you've found your niche right now and you can comfortably ride that, because it's going to be different in 5 years, certainly dramatically different in 10 years. This comes up for me, the reason I'm even thinking about this and want to share this with you is because I got one of my products was returned, and that rarely happens, but it came back to me. It was the Investigator's Ultimate Guide to Surveillance. I got the actual DVD, actually came back to me, and boy, as quick as I got it, of course, I issued the refund. You know my stuff's 100% guaranteed. The reason it came back to me, though, was interesting to me, is not because the course or a problem with the course or anything like that, but because the person couldn't get it to play on their computer. It's a DVD. DVD, dying technology, right? Fewer and fewer people have DVD players. Many times the computers don't even have a spot to put in a DVD anymore. But she couldn't get it to play on the computer. She didn't have a DVD player, so it comes right back to me. I get it. I'm fine with that. But the reason I share this with you is I have to think about my business model changing. I'm not going to be able to sell my courses as great as they are and as current as they are and as much as they teach you that's still valid today and is really so much of it's timeless. I'm going to have to think in my business model about changing the way I sell my courses. One interesting thing that did happen is I get the course back. Now I'm just darn curious. Does this thing really, is it not work? Is it not play? And I recognize, yes, it's hard to play these things in computers sometimes, but I plug it into a DVD player and of course it pops right up. It works perfectly fine. I just have to make sure. But I start to see it. And I don't watch my own stuff, and I certainly just haven't watched this in a while, but I was actually very pleasantly surprised to find myself on there teaching just one good thing after another. And again, this is the Investigator's Ultimate Guide to Surveillance. I kind of forgot how much I taught and how much just back-to-back, boom, 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 good things. And, are there things that I would change and do differently? Not the content. I would certainly teach you the exact same content if I filmed it again today. The thing that I would change is I would really slow down and explain, look, what I'm teaching you is really important. I teach a lot of things that on there that I look at and I go, wow, I should have really pointed out how important that is, and instead I just teach it. But you're getting the really good information, and I'm tickled that it's there for you. If you're interested in that Investigator's Ultimate Guide to Surveillance, please do check it out over at shadowanyone.com. But really the point here today is look at your business, what's working well for you, and project forward and say, is this still going to be valid in a few years, or do I have to modify things? Do I have to change my prices? Do I have to learn a new skill set? Maybe it's the surveillance, maybe it's process serving, maybe it's something else, I don't know. But look at it, figure it out so you're not caught off guard. This is Larry K with shadowanyone.com. Remember, do the right thing, even if it's the hard thing.